Hey, what's up, guys? We've been gone for a long time, and people have asked where we're at. So we actually went on Instagram and we typed in there, what do you guys want to know for an update video? And we got like a big old list of questions we're going to answer today.
Yeah, so we decided to make this as like a quick update, like why haven't we been on / Q&A sesh. And we actually got a lot of questions, like a lot more than I was expecting. So thank you guys. But we're going to try to answer those as quickly as possible. And we kind of broke them up into some categories. So here's what to expect. We're going to have like an update / update related question category, travel questions, so travel related questions, quick travel questions, which we can kind of just answer like rapid fire, YouTube / content questions, and then personal questions. So I'm just going to start with the update related category. And our first question is, how are you doing and what have you been doing for the last 90 days? And it's actually been like 100 days since that question was asked. So I would say we're doing pretty good, pretty busy. Been traveling the last 90 days, just haven't been on here as much. I'll explain more about that later with couple of the questions you guys asked, but yeah. And are any new videos coming out, or are you just worn out?
This one's coming out.
Yeah, this one's coming out. Yeah, we do have that. And right after this, we're going to be posting a short Taiwan series because we're actually invited out to Taiwan to help create something. So we'll be doing that. As far as being like worn out, I'd say like kind of, yeah. Like we're generally just tired right now. Not worn out on videos necessarily. Like I love making the videos, but when you're tired and you're moving fast, and we've just had a lot going on, we're kind of prioritizing it differently right now. I'd love to get back into it. So I need to figure out a way to do that. Anyway, sorry, I'm kind of rambling. And our last update question is, will there be a new Taiwan series? And I just kind of answered that, yes. Okay, so this next section was like travel questions, but maybe a little bit more long-winded, like they might take a little more thought. So the first question in this category was, what is the best and the worst part of traveling?
I know the worst part.
What is it for you?
It's just really inconvenient. Like all the stuff in life you take for granted, like knowing where the grocery store is, knowing the layout of the grocery store, knowing the costs of things, the language, what the language is on the packaging, knowing the local foods available to you, how to pump gas,
right.
How much gas should cost, which like traffic laws to, deal with, like how trash is sorted, where to do laundry.
I think also like social expectations is another big one that you're always like, no matter what it is, you're always kind of adapting to something new, and you always kind of have to be like mindful of that. And then I think the worst thing for me would probably be like saying like friends and family. Like sometimes it's really hard when you're like gone for a long time, and you kind of watch like everybody else in life moves on in their own lives kind of without you, and in your mind they're always kind of like where you left off. So I don't know, it's kind of hard to explain, but how I feel about it. Yeah. And then the best part?
It's fun.
Yeah, I was going to say it's really fun. It's really cool. It's cool to see all the new cultures and try all these foods and do all these cool things. Like it's amazing. But yeah. The second question was the biggest struggle while traveling full time.
I don't know, sleep.
Yes.
You'd be surprised. Like that's another thing you take for granted when you're home. You just like get in your routine. You go to bed at the same time. You know what noises your neighbors make. You don't get any of that here. Like
And this last year, if you've been following us on Instagram, which if you're watching this, you probably are, you've seen our horrible like sleep saga this year. Just so much stuff happened. It was like, are we cursed? So our third question was, are you planning on doing any long distance trips? For example, motorcycling across Vietnam or biking across Europe?
Probably not.
Yeah, we got in a minor motor scooter accident once. We swore off those, like anywhere we can prevent it. It's just not our thing. I would love to do a cycling trip, but we really just don't like being on busy roads. If there was somewhere with a long cycling path, I'd do it.
Yeah, maybe like I'd go on a road trip at some point, but like that's it.
Yeah, we just feel like we're protective of our like health and safety, and we feel like putting ourselves on a roadside is not in line with that. What country has felt the most like a home away from home?
Probably like Australia.
Yeah. We were just talking about this the other day, actually.
It's like a
independent
weird
of this
copy of America.
Yeah, but we really jive with it because we love the wildlife and the nature. It's like a very undeveloped, beautiful natural place.
But still very familiar.
Yes.
Like the way all the stores and retail's done, and like the roads, and it's
culturally
very like
similar.
Yeah, car centric.
Yeah.
It's kind of like living in SoCal or something.
It is, and the people are really chill. But yeah, I think that would be it for me. Is there any place you haven't been but want to visit?
Yeah, there's so many places.
So many. And there's so many that are kind of like not off limits to us right now, but we can't do with the current lifestyle we're living.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like all over. I want to see more of Asia. We haven't even been to South America or Africa or Antarctica, if you count that.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. All over. How do you handle health insurance and medical stuff while abroad?
We are double insured. We have full U.S. insurance, and then we have insurance for traveling as well.
Yeah, we use GeoBlue. I know a lot of people use Safety Wing, but they don't cover you if you get things like cancer or if you get hurt in a scuba diving accident or like other sports they list, unless, like some of them they just don't cover at all, but some you have to pay extra for, and then it's like almost the same price as GeoBlue. So we just use them, and it's essentially Blue Cross Blue Shield. You go, you pay, and of course it's a lot cheaper when you're abroad, and then they reimburse you for what they cover. It's like basic insurance stuff. Yeah. And then for like handling healthcare otherwise, I think the easiest way has been going to travel clinics because they usually speak English. They cost a little more, but they're just really easy and very fast. We haven't had to do a whole lot though. Yeah.
We're only like in our early 30s.
Yeah, so far.
Yeah,
so far.
like
We've been lucky. Next one is, do you constantly need to adjust your spatial awareness with each temporary home that you're in? That was an interesting one.
No.
I think at first a little bit, like when you're in a brand new place. No.
Not at all.
I think they were referring to like, do you guys like stub your toes or anything?
Yeah, or do you like walk into things in the dark?
Yeah, usually not. But sometimes. I think the hardest part is like, sometimes you wake up and you move so much you don't know where you are. And you wake up and you're like, where the hell am I right now? But you adjust pretty quick, I would say, within a couple of days. At least for me.
I don't ever have that happen.
He doesn't have that happen, apparently.
Like, I'm wherever you are, that's where you are.
Wait, you literally don't ever wake up and you have to think about, like, where am I right now?
I literally don't have that thought. It's like literally like a useless thought. It's like literally the answer, like, where are you? It's where you are.
Well, I don't know. I like to have to figure out what country I'm in. I'm like, what hotel am I in? I have to like backtrack sometimes. I'm like, okay, we were just here and then we were there. You don't.
Never.
Okay,
No.
well, that's a problem for me only, apparently. How is Okinawa and how does the diving compare to Bonaire? So we're in Okinawa, Japan right now, which you guys may or may not know.
We're here during the wet season. We can't get in the water.
It's
been extremely
cold.
rough and cold because of storms. It's thunderstorming outside today.
Yeah, which is why we're filming this the second.
The coral looks a lot nicer than Bonaire from Dime videos, and
It looks
there's less
beautiful.
fish than Bonaire.
Yeah, they fish a lot here, but the corals seem healthier, and the ocean's a little cooler, which helps with the bleaching events.
Yeah.
It just helps them tolerate it. It looks amazing, but yeah, I don't even know if we're going to get to dive on this trip. We found out the dive season doesn't start until after we leave.
Yep.
So these are quick travel questions. So we're moving into the next like category. Favorite airlines or airline?
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't really have one.
We don't fly. Like, it's not like you can just fly on one airline around the world.
I think some people do that a little more, but yeah, we just pick whatever is
Let's
cheapest,
just
easiest.
Rage
what
everyone. Ryanair.
Okay, next question is favorite food. At this point, vegetables.
I like vegetables.
That's fair. I like sweets, but as far as like a regional cuisine is, I think we've had so much good food at this point and so many standout dishes that like it's impossible to pick one. Like so much good food out there in the world. How do you deal with the language barrier?
Most
Google-
people
sorry.
speak English.
Yeah, most people speak English, but if they don't, Google Translate, amazing. And worst case, body language goes like so much further than you think it would.
But the world is like, in general, at least the places we travel, I'm sure there's places that aren't developed enough that like the local customs are substantially different. But in like the vast majority of the world, people live the same life. You all have cell phones and debit cards and cars and stores and gas stations, and you wear shoes and brush your teeth. It's like you have so much in common
With everyone.
with everyone. You
And I
even
think
listen
that's
to
why-
the same music, movies, like it's just like what you go to the store and you don't know the word for bag, but it's like you bag your groceries in every country.
Yeah, you hold up a bag. Like that's what I mean by body language. Though I feel like everyone has like the shared experience, and
Yeah.
like that's gonna take you so far if you're worried about it. Yeah.
Yeah,
So the next one is, what are the top 5 cities that you vibe with?
I'll let you go first.
Tokyo is my favorite city in the world. I liked Sydney a lot. This is a hard question. I love Taipei. Paris comes to mind. I just think that's a really cool city. Shoot, 5. I mean, I love so many. I mean, and then Honolulu, of course, but I wasn't counting that because we lived there, so it's not really abroad. But that's my number one.
I like Honolulu
Of course.
and Taipei and Tokyo and Amsterdam
Amsterdam's awesome too, yeah.
and Paris.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'd say those are all pretty good.
I agree with you on Amsterdam. It didn't come to mind at first, but I think I actually like Amsterdam a little more than Paris.
Yeah,
Not that I don't like Paris. I love Paris too.
Yeah,
but
Paris is really cool. It's just like Amsterdam's so safe and livable. You like sit outside at 2 a.m. and just like relax on a canal.
the canal, I think that's what comes to mind for me, like relaxing by the canals. The
Yeah.
best. But yeah, I think those are our tops for cities. The next question is, what is the scariest animal you've seen on your travels?
Cassowary,
I think crocodiles for me, because
Oh,
they will
yeah.
like actually eat you.
but I wasn't afraid.
I was always afraid of them because like every time you get anywhere like near the water's edge, you'd be like, ugh.
Yeah, but
I'm like traumatized by
the
that.
wild cassowaries are like,
Yeah, those were pretty gnarly.
they're scary because like you're there,
Dinosaurs.
you're there with them.
Yeah.
And there's like those stories about like them disaboweling, and every time you go to the zoo, they like kick at the fence.
Yeah, they are aggressive.
Yeah, they you know. Yeah,
Yeah, I think Australian animals, man.
yeah, that was the most afraid I've been for sure. I
The
mean, if you-
cassowary?
Yeah, if you don't, I mean, it made me nervous.
I think the most afraid I was on that like little rinky-dink boat in Malaysia, which had crocodiles in
Yeah.
the water, and I was like, wow, I really hope this doesn't like sink right now.
For sure, yeah. Or
Not
those
aggressive.
monkeys. There was like a troop of mean macaques in the jungle of Malaysia too.
Yeah, we got chased by monkeys once.
Yeah,
That was terrifying. Oh, they scared me so bad. Yeah, we looked at it and it was just like, and then it like called its whole troop, and we were literally, they're like, don't run from monkeys, and I was like, I can't imagine not running right now because they would have attacked us. Anyways, oh, that kind of relates to the next question I wrote down, which is, when will you come to Australia again?
I don't know.
I don't know. I want to go. We spent so long there, and I want to spend so much more time there, but it doesn't really work with our schedule at the moment.
And it's just so expensive.
It is also expensive.
Yeah.
I think if we were totally free, I'd love to do like a camper van trip through the country, but one day. The next one is, why don't you travel more in the U.S.?
Because it's expensive.
It's super expensive. Yeah, that's the biggest part. I think for a long time we just weren't as interested in it. I'm more so now, but
It's the most unreasonably expensive part
Yeah.
of the world to travel in.
Yeah.
Plus, I've already seen like half the country.
where are you heading next?
We don't know.
Yeah, we don't quite know yet. We're figuring that out. We're thinking we might stay in Southeast Asia or do French Polynesia, but that one's a little harder to get to, so we'll see. Okay. And now we're on to our YouTube/content questions, which I think I'll probably mostly answer unless you have any input on it. But I don't want to cut you out. I just do most of the YouTube stuff, so it's probably going to be listening to me talk. So the first question is, what gear do you use? I'll let you adjust really quick. We're on the tatami floors, it's kind of uncomfortable. So we use the Canon EOS R6 Mark II, and that's like been our main for a long time, but we've been using the iPhone 15 a lot more lately. It's so much easier to just whip out your phone, and then when you're in crowds, nobody looks at it weird, so I love that. We're using the DJI Mic Minis right now, which I just switched to from Rode. They're okay. They don't sound quite as good, but they're so small and so easy to use. I should probably put this on.
And sometimes we use a GoPro.
Yeah, and when we're getting our water shots.
It's like an ancient GoPro too, isn't it?
It's not 11, it's medium.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's like a good GoPro still.
I thought we were still using the 7s.
No, I sold those. See, this is why I'm answering these questions. The second question is, why did you start vlogging? I think it was like always something we kind of wanted to do, like from the very first day, and we tried, but at least I was too shy to like talk to the camera, and then I was like, I'm gonna have to figure out editing, blah, blah, blah. And then we just put it off until COVID happened, and then who didn't start vlogging during COVID? I think like everyone did, so that's when we had time to learn.
It's good for memories.
It's the best.
And also because like we're gone so much that like our family and friends want to keep up with us. And when you get back always, you'll be gone for like 2 years, and they'll be like, so tell me about your travels, and you'll tell them one story, and they'll be like glazed over, and they're like, that's it, that's all you get to talk about. And you're like, okay, fine. You know, at least if I make a video, like people can watch it when they want to and be like, oh, that's what Australia was like.
Yeah, and a lot of our family has told us that they feel more included by watching it, like they feel like they're along with us, and that's exactly what we wanted, so score.
Hi, Mom.
Hi, Mom. The next one is, why don't you post more videos?
Because we don't have to. A lot of these people you see,
No, don't do that.
No, but it's true though. Their whole life revolves around YouTube, and it's not a hobby for them. It's more of a jobby, you know?
A jobby?
And for us, this is a hobby.
Yeah, I think, well, for my answer, it'd be, they're very time intensive to make. Editing takes forever. The next one is, what is your advice for starting a travel YouTube?
Do it.
Do it.
Just do it.
I love that. I was going to say, don't listen to other people's advice. Like, I feel like when we were starting, at least when I was starting, like, you watch vlogs and people tell you it like has to be a certain way and you have to edit this way for like people to actually watch it or whatever. Like, and I feel like it doesn't really let you develop in your own like unique way. You just kind of copy what everybody else does. So like, yeah, watch other people to learn how to do it in the first place, but then stop. That'd be my advice. The next one was, how much money do you make on YouTube? Not a lot.
$300 a month right now?
Well, we haven't been posting, and we're making about $350 a month. Yeah, so depends on who you are. For us, that's not really a lot. I'd say at the most, we were making a couple thousand a month, which was a lot of work to actually get to that point. But I think we're also a little bit lower than a lot of people in the space are because we don't really do sponsorships. Like, I think it's largely because I don't know, we're not very like consumerist people, and I don't really want to sell you guys something that I wouldn't use myself. And I very rarely find a deal or like get contacted by a company where it's something I would actually recommend. And in the rare cases I do, we can't receive items when we're abroad. Like, I don't want to deal with it. We move too fast. Getting mail abroad is a nightmare. And then I'm perpetually behind on these videos. Mailman's going by. Anyways, I'm really behind on these videos at all times pretty much. And you have to integrate them into your video. And I feel like it's so awkward when you pop on and you're like, commercial break. You know what I mean? Yeah.
You're really adding a lot to this. How much do you make? $350.
Sorry.
Or maybe $2,000. And you're like, but.
I don't know. The person asking some of these questions was actually interested in starting making videos and kind of how much you make and like what the potential is. So I didn't want to shoot it down.
Yeah, I would say like probably though, if you actually need the money, it's probably worth it to just get a real job. Like that's what I did.
I don't want to call it not a real job. It is a real job. It's a lot of work, but it's not a really good paying job. But yeah, remote work is definitely like, I would say most people in the space tend towards that. It's just, it doesn't pay very well for a lot of people for years or forever. And it's like, I've seen a lot of people save up and spend all their money and go out. There are a few that do make it happen, but it's so rare I wouldn't bank on it. Yeah. Anyways, sorry.
You'd be way better off with a remote job.
Yes.
Even if it was like $15 an hour teaching English.
Unless, of course, making videos is like your dream, then by all means, like, of course, do that. The next question is, what inspired your Taiwan series?
We went to Taiwan.
Well, for me, it was somewhere I knew we wanted to document really, really well because we've been to like Ukraine, which is geopolitically unstable. And I barely took any pictures, didn't take any videos really. And I really regret that because it's never going to be the same again, even when everything there ends, of course, you know. And of course, Taiwan has all the pressure from mainland China, PRC. So that was like a big like reasoning. I was like, I want to capture things as they are now. Like that was my mentality going on. And then Alan basically planned this whole like grid. He was like, what's the best way we can see like all of Taipei? And then we just stuck around in Taiwan longer because of how things worked. We weren't like actually supposed to see more than Taipei. So yeah, that's how that happened. And the next question was, is the cat map still available? Do you remember the cat map?
I do. Why'd you take the cats around the world down?
I feel like we should explain what the cat map is really quick though.
It's a map of cats we touched around the world.
No, it's not.
Or should you say the cats that touched us?
Okay, I'm going to answer this for real. Before the YouTube started, we, like everyone else who travels, tried making a blog about our travels, and we love cats, so I was like, okay, I want to rate each destination on how good it is for finding like street cats or like cuddly cats around. So we plotted this whole like map on a spinning globe that had these little pins with cat ratings and like pictures of the cats we met there and stuff, and a little description about it. So that was the cat map. Well, our website's down completely right now. I just don't have the time to put into it right now. It's like it's a whole other beast. And then the actual cat map program that I was using is also extremely difficult to use, and it was just kind of a pain in the butt. So one day I'd like to bring that back, but not right now. That was a really long-winded question. I'm sorry. I feel like I'm doing such a bad job explaining.
I think you're fine. It's a Q&A video. We're going to get like...
Prove him wrong. Okay, he's like, we're going to get like 200 views right now. And I'm like, yeah, so what? We're getting no views right now.
That wasn't the argument. That wasn't the argument.
You're being a about it. That's the argument.
Okay. That's true. But you were like, we need to make a comeback with the Q&A video.
It's not we need to make a comeback. I was like, how are we going to come back and not have it be so awkward?
You said make a comeback.
I don't really know how to come back.
And I was like,
okay, that's not what I meant.
I'm trying to make a comeback here. It's like, I don't think this is how you do it.
Okay,
like, how else are we going to come back then? You make a cool video, that's how.
Okay, but that's not what I meant by make a comeback. I was like, how are we going to come back like after 4 months? Like, I feel like it's so awkward to just disappear from social media and then be like, hey guys, I'm here now. Like, there's a whole, at least for me, I like things being in chronological order, and I hate when they're not. Okay? I hate it. So, for me, coming back with having some explanation just feels better.
Okay.
Because I'm going to just drop this Taiwan series out of nowhere, and it feels awkward to me.
Okay.
And we're on to the last category, which are personal questions. Would you ever consider living in Florida, and if so, what part?
I'd probably live in South Florida near the Everglades. That would probably be pretty cool. Or maybe Key West, Florida.
It's not really on our radar, though. I feel like it's kind of gotten more expensive. Like, Florida used to be this great deal, right?
Yeah, but also, like, you know, long term, I just don't know that, like, you can actually live there with the weather and, like, the sea level thing.
Yeah.
Like, it seems like it's just going to flood a lot.
That's true. The weather is a vibe, though.
Yeah, and I like Disney World.
Yeah, Disney's great.
I could be about Orlando. We went once, and I thought it was pretty sweet.
I wouldn't want to live in Orlando, sorry. Do you miss Hawaii?
All the time.
Every day of my life. Next one is, when did you know that this was the type of lifestyle that you want to live? I feel like it just kind of happened. It wasn't like ever like a moment of like, oh, I want this. It was like we had this opportunity to go for a few months and travel, and we were like, let's just do it. Like, it's going to be cheaper too. And we did, and we loved it, and we just kind of never stopped.
Yeah, we just kept going. And then COVID happened, which sort of like trapped us abroad in Australia. It's a good place to be trapped.
Yeah. And it kind of slowed us down too, which was good, because I think we would have burned out moving as fast as we were at first.
And then, you know, then you're just like, well, you know, I can just keep going. Like, why not? And now it's like, we can just kind of indefinitely.
Yeah, now we're about to be entering our 8th year of this, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it just hasn't ever been the right time or like feeling to move back. I think we're getting there. We're getting a little more tired, but still not quite ready. I mean, like, houses are so expensive where we want to live. Do you see yourself settling down anywhere?
Probably Hawaii.
That's the dream. I mean, we have to see. Houses are still like literally $1 million there minimum, but we'll see.
Good thing we made all this sweet YouTube money.
That's gonna pay for that house in Hawaii. Just you watch. You watch. The next question is, are you planning to have kids? I don't know yet. We kind of like are a slight lean on no, but every once in a while we're like, oh, that sounds kind of nice.
You know what I'm planning? I'm planning to have a golden retriever.
We are definitely planning on having a golden retriever. That's not, like, and that's how I feel like I should feel about kids. And I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know.
because like I don't feel that way about kids is the large reason why I haven't had a kid yet.
Yeah, and I feel like, I don't know, to be a good parent, you should like really deep down like want it, right? Yeah, so I don't know. Like, sometimes I really do, and then sometimes I'm like, I don't know. I do want a golden retriever, though. What would you be doing if not traveling? Honestly, I see myself in Hawaii, chilling. We'd probably have an apartment, because, you know, houses are expensive. And I'd probably just, I don't know, work, do some art. I love my hobbies. And what about you?
I don't know that there is an alternative.
A lost soul. No hobbies or anything?
No, only travel.
Only travel.
Only travel.
That's how dedicated he is to this lifestyle, guys. Next question is, are you still working on your art? And that one was towards me. Yes, I've been practicing it a little more. I'm really, really, really out of practice. It's kind of hard to do on the road because I like having lots of supplies and stuff, but I am working on it. And I'm hoping to incorporate it a little more onto here, but I don't know. I get shy about it, I think. Anyways, that was it. And I realized in the beginning, part of the reason we hosted a Q&A was because we were about to be starting our freaking 8th year of travel. We hit 2,500 days. I know.
Wow.
I know,
that's 10% of an entire human life expectancy on the road.
Wow, you're right. But I appreciate all the questions, and we're hoping to get some videos rolling again really soon. And let us know what you think. Would you prefer the higher effort ones, which take me much longer and I can't put out as often, nearly as often? Or would you prefer like kind of like a sit down and chat like this with lots of B-roll and kind of throwing stuff in, which would make it much easier for me? Let me know. Okay, anyway, thanks.
Okay, bye. Q&A.
Hey, we're at like 40 something now.
40K Q&A.
It was more like the travel length, but let me know, because Alan's being a huge lame-o right now, and he's like, I hate doing Q&As.
I mean, there'll be people that'll watch them. But then there are people that watch rock movies.
What do you guys think? Do you love or hate the Q&As? I like get it. Like, I don't really like sitting there and just talking about myself either, but like, I think it's a good way to talk to people. It's kind of like connecting on some level. You get direct feedback. Alan just washed his glasses. Alan doesn't like them. I like them.
Yeah, I
what do
don't
you
like
think?
glasses.
Q&As.
Oh.
You're so awkward.